people of Hungerford gather for the unveiling of the plaque for the 40th anniversary of twinning in Hungerford. God save the Queen, the Duke of Lancaster.
Thank you all for coming to join us in celebrating the 40th plus anniversary. Unfortunately, as most of you know, we were unable to unveil this plaque 2 years ago. The plaque is still a reminder of 40 years of twinning, even though we are now going past 42, and hopefully many more. So we just want to have a little reminder of what twinning is about, so some short speeches to give you that feedback. And I'm going to start with a couple of phrases, one of which was written by Jack Williams for me some years ago when we were looking at providing a flyer about the history of twinning. And then the second one is a little piece in respect from the Mayor of Ligueil, Michel Guignadou, who had hoped to be here with us today for this unveiling. Unfortunately, circumstances have meant that they can't be here, but we do hope to send them a video of our ceremony today. So this was written by Jack about the beginning of twinning. He said, "I became town mayor in 1978, and I proposed the idea of town twinning to the annual parish meeting. This was unanimously approved, and then began the task of finding the correct partner. There was active encouragement to twin from our own government and enthusiastic support from Brussels." The story of how we actually ended up twinned with the town of Ligueil takes a little while because there were various visits backwards and forwards. But finally, the charter was signed. The first charter was signed in Ligueil, followed a few months later by the charter signing here. And the French mayor said it was snowing in Ligueil on the Saturday of November in 1980. A crowd had gathered in the community hall to witness the signature of the twinning charter between the town councils of Hungerford and Ligueil. After several visits and negotiations had been organised, it was the very first international relation to be formalised by the charter for both our towns. This resulted in the bonding of two European populations and the beginning of language exchanges between our two secondary schools, John of Gaunt School and the Collège Maurice Genevois, so that our young people could perfect their study of foreign languages, fundamental in the mutual understanding of peoples. John Williams, which is what the French always called Jack, his wife Margaret and his friends, all France lovers, managed to develop, to improve and to maintain this entente cordiale throughout the years, as well as welcoming the students, their families, and our local associations, and sharing our joys and sorrows. Our exchanges, as well as our receptions, were and still are imbued with sincerity, human richness, and the will to know each other. I think that says an awful lot about the importance of twinning and the way we hope to maintain it. So I'm going to pass you over to our Vice President, the Constable of the Town and Manor, to say a few words about the history and involvement of the Town and Manor. Thank you.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Thank you, Penny, for the introduction. It's a real honour for me to be here today to celebrate the 40 years of the association. And as Penny just said, it's really 42 years. We're a little late in running this event, but obviously we all know the reasons why. But I also think it's lovely that it's happening at such a special time for this country in terms of it happening during the Platinum Jubilee. So I think every reason is great for why we're doing it. What I do want to do is to thank the people we have here who are important to the organisation as it is today. We have our Honorary President, Helen. We have our Chairman, Penny. We have our committee members, and of course the public, who I'm sure are delighted that we have such an association with Ligueil. Suffice it to say, as Penny said, we are missing Jack. Jack Williams was really a fundamental player in the reason why the twinning started out. It was something that he really wanted to do. But I'm here representing the town and manor of Hungerford. I'm the constable of the town and manor of Hungerford. But why is that association there? Well, my understanding was very simply that when Jack first came out with the idea of wanting to set this association up, he was also not only the mayor, but he was also a trustee of the town and manor. And at the time, Robert James was our constable, and I believe that Jack said to Robert, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need some help. I'm only going to do this if you come on board as my deputy for the association. And that has lasted to this day. Hence, Helen is our president, and I'm the vice president. So that association and the work that was done in the early days, thanks to Jack and to Robert, we continue as we are today. And I think that's a great thing. From my standpoint, what I also wanted to talk about here is the fact that there were lots of visits that happened in the early days, and I know that we've not been able to achieve those in the last few years. And I know that it started out with a visit by 4 members, including Jack and Robert, to Ligueil, and there were reciprocal visits in 1980 before the charter was signed. And I really hope we will have the opportunity to go back to doing some of those reciprocal visits. There is a charter that's been signed, as you heard. The charter is upstairs, along with some gifts that came from Ligueil, and we really hope that you will stay behind and join us upstairs to reminisce and look at some of the things we have and talk to people like Robert, who were instrumental in the actual setup of the association. As far as our esteemed colleague Michelle, the Mayor of Ligueil, I can only apologise that you were unable to join us, and I, on behalf of everyone in the town, send our best wishes to you and look forward to having an opportunity to meet with you again soon. Twinning to me is all about bringing 2 towns together, and it isn't about the town and manor, it's not about the council, it's about the town, and it's about how we can work together to bring education, culture, things like that between the two towns. And I really hope that that continues for the long term, and we continue to develop a lot of long-term friendships. I also think there's an opportunity here for us to look at how we can maybe drive some economic benefits between the two. And I hope and look forward to seeing ways in which that may be possible between the two organisations. In recognition of the 40-year anniversary, we have a plaque that we are commemorating that anniversary today. And so with that, I'd like to turn the time or the opportunity over to our president, our honorary president, Helen Simpson, to reveal the plaque for today. Helen.
Thank you, Peter. I'd really like to echo what Peter has just told you all about the wonderful association that we have that's been going for now over 40 years. There are people that we're missing here today, and I hope, Jack, very much that we've done you proud this morning. And to Michelle, may I send all of our best wishes from Hungerford to our twin town in Ligueil. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and I'll now unveil our very special plaque.
Vous nous manquez aujourd'hui et nous sommes tristes que vous ne soyez pas là. Cela dit, je tiens à vous assurer de l'amitié, de la fierté des habitants de tout Hungerford, de ce jumelage avec Ligueil. J'espère que la prochaine fois que vous visitez l'Angleterre, vous aurez le temps de venir nous rendre visite aussi. Cela dit, je vous assure encore l'amitié de tous les habitants de Hungerford. C'est devenu une tradition maintenant, ce jumelage, parmi toutes les autres traditions de la ville. Et nous en sommes fiers. Merci et à bientôt, j'espère.
Will you please join me in raising a toast to absent friends?
To absent friends.
Sorry, just take photos, sorry.
Hands on.
Hang on.